I'm happy you're here with me.
Thank you.
I know you had a few things to share, so if you'd like, you can feel free to introduce yourself again, or you can just get to what you want to talk about, or let me know.
Yeah, no, I'm so glad that you're back. It's great to be back with folks in their natural element and in their space.
Thank you.
No. And I love you for all of this and for giving us the platform to helping us elevate some, I don't want to say just announcements, but like share some information, do what we do best with the Chingona community, which is to, again, add resources, add impact, and build community. So I am Roz Corona with the Chingona community. I'm the founder, the OG, and you have been instrumental in helping us, again, create a platform to share information. So most recently, something really, really fun. And I thought of you because the audience in which you share the information with, or your stories, and even just being back here after 6 months. A lot of times people don't share resources, and I think that that's a really, really bad thing.
So true.
I think we should help each other up more than we do.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
And this past year, the Chingona community has been blessed to have a partnership with the Clean Power Alliance. So sounds like a commercial, but I don't want it to be.
It's okay. I feel like personally there's a lot of resources out there in LA. I can only speak for LA because this is what I know. And there's a lot of resources that are either gate kept or they're not, just people don't know about it. People aren't educated or informed about resources that are available to them. These are where your tax dollars are going. These are where like people are, funding, and they're just available to people, regular people, just like me and you.
Right.
And I just don't think people are educated enough. And I don't want to get into politics, but I'm going to. I just feel like people need to be educated more. And educated on things that can help them or benefit them, right?
Right.
So you were speaking about the Clean Power Alliance. What is that?
Yep. So the Clean Power Alliance is a partnership that we joined into, and really what we are is a community business advisor, if you will, meaning we reach out to folks in our community, share with them that there is a program that allows folks who are qualified to get discounts on their energy bill. So that's a big deal. I come from that world, meaning my dad is a retired vet from an energy company, and energy costs a lot of money. We just did solar on our house. My husband was like ecstatic when it got done.
Yeah, my parents too.
I did. And even me kept asking and asking. I'm like, I don't want to have anything to do with it. If you want to do it, do it. It's not because I don't believe in it.
Right.
It's because that's not something that's a priority. But to some folks within our communities, that is a priority, right?
Right.
How can you cut costs for, it costs a lot of money to live on your own.
Right.
It costs a lot of money to have your own home.
Right.
Why not tap into resources that will help you with your bills?
Right. And invest like in a long-term, like solution to help you save a little more money.
Yep.
Because for my parents, like it took them a while to like come to terms with, okay, if I invest now, then in the long term, I'll actually be saving more money.
Right.
Versus if I were just to stay, paying the regular, what everyone does,
Right.
And so, I think that's really cool that you guys did that.
Yeah, no. And it's awesome because for us, the demographic in which we serve really crosses over a lot of the counties in which are have these resources available to them.
Yeah.
So if you went under the cleanpoweralliance.com, I'll also share with you the link, or at least the QR code.
Sure.
Depending on where you live, and depending on, of course, your economic and or financial, bracket, you could be eligible for discounts on your energy bill.
Cool.
And again, it's like you said, a lot of times folks don't know where to go, or a lot of times folks don't. They're too proud.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
To look for.
What do you mean by that, though?
Well, I knew you'd ask. I think folks are too proud to share sometimes that they're suffering financially.
Okay.
And I think folks are too proud.
I agree.
Yeah. They'll, I'll just pay it. well, but why don't you just see if you qualify for something?
Yeah.
You know, I kind of equate it to, and it's kind of interesting that these two, I guess, programs kind of correlate to me in my life. Is it's almost like WIC.
Okay.
You know, folks, and I won't name names, but when I was a young mom that was single, folks in general think that's a bad thing.
Right.
They think that, oh, you know, she tapped out or she gave up. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Folks just think that you're not, that's something, it's taboo.
Right.
Why, if
I
you
agree.
qualify for it, if you're going to school, if you're going to work, trying to make a better living for your daughter, your son, whatever it might be, why shouldn't you apply for a benefit that you might be eligible for? Because to your point,
Right.
we pay for it. Like,
Yeah.
we pay for all of these
For
resources,
sure.
right?
Right.
And sometimes when we don't take advantage of them, I do think in our culture in particular, either you take too much advantage or you don't take advantage of a resource because you're too proud. It's
That's
such
a
a
good
weird
point.
It's very weird.
And I agree. And then there's the opposite end of the spectrum where you don't ask anybody for help. Don't tell anybody that you're financially struggling. Don't let anybody into your life. You can do it on your own. It's like that pride.
Right.
And I feel like on both ends of that spectrum, it's like kind of toxic.
It is.
Or I don't even know if that's the right word, toxic. It's just a little dangerous on both ends.
Right.
You know?
Right. Well, and it can be dangerous for information sharing, resource sharing, right? Because somebody might think, I don't want to share this because it's embarrassing. Or like you said, if it's the other folks on the other side of the spectrum, that somebody would take too much advantage of a benefit that people that need it should be getting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so like the same thing with COVID, right? There was those people that you'd find out about, and there are small businesses that were actually struggling during COVID that needed like help and assistance. And then there's those people that we've seen already, especially as like the years keep unfolding, that are like caught for fraud because they were taking the benefits from those small businesses basically, or they were taking the benefits from the government that were supposed to be going to people that it actually affected. And those people ended up buying like stupid things you know, and
shoes, clothes, watches,
just to like have this weird lifestyle that they just like wanted to live up to or something. And so it's like, yeah, there are those people that are going to take advantage of benefits, but if you are in like a bracket or you're having difficulty or you're struggling financially, then it is good to look into these resources.
It is.
You know?
It is.
And that's what these grants are for.
1,000%. And that's why the grants get put into place. And it's really sad, though, that again, it becomes so political, right?
Yeah.
Sharing, how do you share? And even when we got invited to kind of like learn about the program, not that the nonprofit wasn't interested, I was still a little bit confused, but I'm like, oh, then I understood it. It's not just the Chingona community that's an advocate or a part of this CBO, if you will. There are several other groups like churches, a couple of food bank. Like it's very neat to be a part of it because again, it just what we're trying to do is spread the word. Not everyone will qualify. There's so many other programs for so many other things, whether it be food, diapers, electricity, you know, milk, whatever it is. It's just a matter of sharing the information. We're not tied to any organization, but what the Chingona community does is always make sure that we can create impact with resource, impact with learning, impact with network, impact with just uniting together, because not everyone's going to fit in the same box. Right.
That's true.
Yeah.
So with the Clean Power Alliance, how is it similar at all to like Edison in any way?
It is, and that's another fine line. Because as you help other organizations, especially when you're a nonprofit, you know, I don't want to use the word double dipping, but you know, we want to make sure everybody knows about all resources because not everyone fits the same. But yes, it's very similar. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I use Edison. The apartment complex I live at only uses Edison. And Edison does also have like a program where it's like if you're low income, then they'll like cut your costs. Is it similar to that?
Very similar, yeah. And again, it's all based on what you qualify for. So yeah, again, it's, you know, I think I live by the motto that you just never know. share with everyone, because everyone, again, is going to need a different resource for something, but it's very much similar. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's interesting. And so you said it's for only certain locations of LA County?
Yeah. So if you go on to, we just posted today, actually.
Okay.
We did a collaboration post with our link where the Chingona community has, kind of a little tidbit of information. It goes directly to them. So you put in your zip code, you see if you qualify. And then on top of that, though, I really want to make sure that everyone checks out our website. We've revamped our website. We're doing a lot more workforce development for next year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So there'll be resources for a lot. So not just from energy resources to job resources to leadership courses. And then obviously we have fundraising events throughout the year. But I really encourage that folks follow our Instagram, Chingona Community, Facebook, Chingona Community, or our website, www.chingonacommunity.com.
Yeah. So speaking of workforce development, it's funny that you brought that up, just because I just finished writing a research paper on the workforce development program for Homeboy Industries.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so I think it's so fascinating that organization, focuses on different sectors of just your overall development as a person who might have been incarcerated,
right,
or gang affiliated. And I think that's amazing that you're doing that for your organization, because after doing this research and finishing my paper, I was just man, I wish there were more organizations that did workforce development for all types of people, you know, because especially right now, the job market's it's crazy and it's competitive, and a lot of people are struggling, and a lot of people are having to change, a direction, and especially with AI in the picture now, and it's going to continue. It's not going away.
Right.
I think people are going to have to learn how to figure out how to navigate into a new field. And so I think that's really important. What are your goals for the workforce development program?
There's several goals.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing that, I don't know if people, not everybody would know this, but I do have a 20-year staffing background. So I've done staffing, everything from blue collar, white collar, from IT, accounting, HR, to your general labor role. But really what the intent for the Chingona community is to bring to light not only job opportunities, but trades. Trades get lost in the shuffle so much.
I agree.
So from your welder to your plumber to your cosmetologist to your hairdresser to the entrepreneur that wants to have their own business, I really want to make sure, and the Chingona community really wants to make sure that those resources are made available to them, whether it be through 5 or 6 staffing agencies, whether it be through some funding that we might get to help, a young student, female in particular, maybe get a little refresher course. So definitely next year, a few of the grants and the sponsorships in which we're looking for are programs that will help the trade students.
Okay.
Get into, again, when they start with a trade, for the most part, it's different than a JC or a university. They're probably going to be on their own, right? They're going to be more entrepreneurial in nature. So making sure that they have access to somebody that might be hiring that they don't know about. How do we boost up your resume? How do we do some mock interviews? Maybe we're going to host a job development / like a career fair. So we do a lot for the students to get them ready for what they could be. But for us as women, and us as whether you be right out of school, maybe you're mid-career, or maybe you're finishing your career, just again putting those resources in front of everybody. So there'll be a few different programs that we do, but definitely aligned to all those goals: getting you in front of a job, getting you well trained and ready to interview for the job.
Right.
Or maybe we send you to a course and we pay for it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
What inspired you to start this? What? You always have new things coming up, and for the organization. So what kind of sparked your interest here?
Truthfully, my daughter Samantha. My daughter Samantha is a new mom. I'm a new grandma. My granddaughter is 10 months old, and she's going to school at Cerritos JC for cosmetology.
Okay.
And all my kids have had different paths. My son has done plumbing. He started school. Everybody's done a little bit different.
Yeah.
And I firmly believe that the trades don't get attention that they deserve.
Okay.
Everyone always shoves, like, our parents or our cultures, or I don't care if you're Mexican, Black, Asian, white, whatever you are, everybody always pushes college. It's not for everybody.
True.
So my daughter kind of inspired me to think out of the box, like, how can we help, a cosmetology student? Like, they could either go work at a salon or they could go on the road. Like,
that's true.
Yeah. So she inspired me to kind of look to see what ways we can connect the resources we have, because we have so much.
Yeah. So I think you're absolutely right with trades kind of being overlooked. Yeah. Right?
Yeah. They get the shit end of the stick.
People tend to look at trades as more of like a blue collar type of thing, right?
Right.
And I think that's not necessarily true. No. I think like for example, like a plumber, like if that's a trade, those people make so much money. Right. Like, and there's like always a larger range of like how much more money they can make, because everyone always is going to need a plumber.
Of course. Right. No.
So I just think that you're right, and trades aren't emphasized enough.
Right.
And I think that there should be more, like emphasis and just more like funding towards trades for people, because I mean, our education system is flawed, and I feel like there are more important things that could have been taught to kids and still could be taught to kids, and it's kind of, I don't know, just fitting this weird narrative of like what they want kids to think, and especially with our history.
Yeah.
And, like there's so much history that's just like ignored and swept under the rug for us to not know about, our ethnicity and our cultures and stuff like that. And so now I'm just going on a tangent, but going back to trades, I completely agree with you.
Yeah. And then my whole thing too is, I've been big on legacy before. I was a single mom for 15 years, not anymore, but I mean, like, I was a single mom with my older kids, and building legacy to me is so important. And that's the thing. Legacy comes in all different forms. You don't need to just go to college to create some legacy. You don't need to just be a doctor or a lawyer to create legacy.
Yeah.
You can create legacy by being an independent entrepreneurial hairdresser while you're a single mom with your kid. Mm-hmm. You really can.
Yeah.
And you can navigate a career that will pay you what you deserve, but also go in and picking up your son or daughter and going to go watch games and see awards or whatever the case might be. Mm-hmm. So I look at it very, very different.
Yeah. And I think about like a lot of times when you do fall into a trade, sometimes those people end up becoming like the best of the best and end up starting their own business, Yep. And I've come across a lot of people that ended up falling into that, where like I've met a painter. He's one of the vendors I work with, and he started off as just a painter, and now he has his own like contracting business, and he has multiple houses and multiple cars, and like, and he's an immigrant, mm-hmm. And so like it's possible for people to do that when you just start off at a trade. So
and there's nothing wrong with the trade. I think it's amazing. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. So what have you been up to this whole entire year with the Chingona community?
Oh, so much. So this year was challenging because it was my first year. Actually, the last podcast that we did was right after my dad died.
I remember.
Yep. So this year was really challenging because it took me a lot to get my engine moving. I never stopped. I mean, I shared this recently. Actually, I think on another like interview or podcast that nobody would know really what I went through from the time that my dad passed away, even before that. Like I'd say July to July. So this past year, mm-hmm. 12 months, like to a T, because we're July 31st today.
Right.
Has been one of the most challenging as a mother, as a wife, as an entrepreneur, as a employee, like everything just really, was tough. So the beginning of the year, although the calendar was set, my mind was just like so off. Like I would be there, but not be there. But everything went went off flawless. Nobody would know. From financial wellness programs to some great new sponsors this year.
Nice.
We had an amazing awards event program in which not only did we give scholarships, but we were introduced to some groups that our relationships with them are flourishing right now. We are going to get into our last of our community service for the year. We're doing a car show September 27th at St. Linus in Norwalk. Funds will benefit not only the school and academics and sports, but also give back to our organization. And then our canned food drive will happen in November. And then I'm already working on next year. I'm already working on next year.
That's good.
Yeah,
It's
no,
good
I'm
to
working on next
have a
year.
plan.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
working on next year. And the workforce and the wellness are really going to be focus of the programs in which we offer next year. So
Okay.
yeah, it's been wild.
Yeah, I remember the end of last year, you told me you wanted to work on the wellness.
We did. We had a great
with
event.
the organization.
It was the end of May.
Mhm.
It was Women's Health, Mental Health, Women's Mental Health Month. And we finished off that with Dignity Health and Common Spirit. They're in the hospital in downtown.
Okay.
And we did a day of talking about the taboos of wellness, right? Like grief, like anxiety, like stress, like it's okay to have a therapist. There's nothing wrong with you if you have a therapist. Mind, like how can we work on our mind? How can we work on ourselves before we start our day? It was really, really awesome.
Can I ask, and you don't have to answer, but what was like the age demographic of people that attended?
The age demographic,
actually, was it like a mixture?
Oh yeah, it was great. Actually, we probably had, because we had folks' daughters, my daughters included. I'd say the age demographic was like your 18, so right out of high school through like your 60s.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I feel like a lot of women, I'd say there's like a range, and I think because therapy has been so popular as of recent now, there's this age group probably like from 40 all the way down to like probably your like young adult, like 20-year-old, who are accepting of therapy and thinking that therapy is normal and healthy. But there's this age after 40 that, and I speak because my mom is a little more in that mentality of like taboo, where therapists are, you only go to a therapist if you're crazy, or if it, like a negative outlook on what therapy really is. Right. And so I feel like that age group, that the event that you're speaking of is really important for an age group like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
And everyone was very welcoming. If anything, it was kind of funny because my own mom in that process had said, gosh, I need to look at things a little bit different. It was it was so cute. It was like very cute to hear my mom say that.
Yeah, it's important. I think, especially when women come together and empower each other, I think it opens doors for other people, and it can open minds for people on like maybe their sterile way of thinking,
right? Yeah. And it breaks it down.
It's like, it's okay. You're in a group of all types of people, all types of ages. I'm sure all types of ethnicities and cultures and races, and everyone's like on board with this. Right. So it's okay. Like you're safe.
No, completely. No, I would agree 1,000%. And I love to hear that she shared that. And I think she even went so far to say like, wow, I think there's some things I need to work on. But it was cute.
That's good.
It was like the cutest way. It wasn't anything that was wrong. It was like a very cute acknowledging that, like you said, it's a safe space. We're going to be okay together.
Yeah. And I think that's why it's important to have organizations like yours, because it provides like a space for people to feel accepted, to feel like it's okay, and it's healthy to have an open mind and to be like, yeah, maybe I can work on things. Maybe I can see things differently, and just like engaging with other types of people. I even think for myself, like I would like to be in more like group settings. I feel like I live too far from home. I consider like Silver Lake, Highland Park is my home, because that's where I grew up most of my life. And I've been far from home for about like 4 years. And I feel like this area is my home.
Yeah.
So, and there's so many organizations that are in the central LA area where I consider home. So I just feel like I'm a little bit taken back from this safe area, this community of just like people that are a little more open, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking forward to hopefully moving back soon.
If not, come and drive out and come hang out with us.
Yeah, I just feel like I live in Torrance, so that's the South Bay, and I don't know if you've ever been to the South Bay, but there's just like an older population there. I think it's a lot of people that probably inherited their homes, and they're kind of just like retired now at this point. So there's not really a lot of young people there. There's not a lot of people with like life.
Yeah.
And not only that, but a lot of businesses and just like organizations and places are just spread apart from each other. And I think when you have that separation,
it's disconnect.
There's disconnect. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, as crazy and maybe dirty as LA is, like there's still like this, like it's like very tight knit, and there's a lot of there's just like, you know, you could drive 15 minutes away and you're in a different like town. You know? And in Torrance, there's no freeways, so you could drive 15 minutes and you're still in Torrance.
Still the same town.
So I just like, I still have that like homesickness that I thought would go away.
Right.
And it still hasn't. So that just leads me to believe that like I want to come back home, you know?
Yeah.
As far as the Chingona community goes, what have been your challenges this year?
This year, if I had to be very candid, would just be getting some help sometimes. You know, everyone's always willing to raise their hand, but are they willing to really put the grit and the sacrifice in? Not so much. And it's not anything bad. I think my big thing learning for as a leader is accountability, right? Not everyone is going to hold the standards the same as you because like this is your passion, number one. Number two, sometimes people overcommit and they're not able to, and it's not a fault of them, meaning they're a bad person. Mm-hmm. They're not able to say, I can't help.
Yeah.
So that's been a little bit of a struggle for Rosalind.
Okay.
This year is just getting enough true, genuine, like, you know, stop what they're doing and really carving out the time versus like, oh, I can help here or there. So that's been challenging. And then outside of that is just the world we're in right now. Yeah. I mean, the political piece of it from the DEI, quote unquote, was supposed to be non-DEI to, again, just administration changes. It's not affecting us directly, but it's affecting who we support, and it's sad. It's a little sad to watch. Actually, it's very sad to watch.
Yeah. I completely agree with you.
Yeah.
This year has been crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Not even on a personal level, just like not even just the personal, like of our crazy lives, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like everything that's going around.
It's like the orbit's like moving and moving and moving. Yeah.
And it's exhausting, and it's heartbreaking. It's sad, and like you feel like, I'm not gonna lie, there's been points where I've felt fucking hopeless, like that there's no way that this can get better.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know? And I think
it's kind of like COVID.
Yeah.
Because during COVID, we're like, is this going to end? Like, I mean, I remember crying to my mom and dad. I'm like, what's wrong with you? And I said, oh my gosh. I said, I have my gloves. I'm so scared. I'm like, do you think we're all going to die? like literally driving to the store thinking that we're all going to die.
Yeah.
And in this space, it was more of like, is it going to end? You know, how really bad is it going to get? It's been weird.
It's been, it's, and so many ugly feelings of just like the unknown of what can happen. Yeah. And like you open your phone and it's just like, oh my God, what else? Mm-hmm. What else? How much more worse can this get?
Right. The social media has been crazy. I think
only 6 months.
Yeah. Those first few weeks when everything was going down, I couldn't stop and I was getting so angry.
Yeah. Same.
It was like scary angry. Like, oh, and then I'm like, what can you do? You can't do it. You're helpless. Yeah. Then borderline hopeless. Yeah.
You feel hopeless. You feel helpless.
Yeah.
But I like took some time to think about it. You do need to give your time space. I mean, you need to give yourself space to have those emotions. And I think that's important because my boyfriend and I were just talking about how, especially as millennials, it's hard to be on your phone, and our generation and the younger generation are very unserious. So we're talking about how you can see somebody dying literally on your phone in your face, and then the next scroll up or down is like some stupid meme, and it's like a funny meme, and it's just like, it's so hard to change your emotions just instantly, just like by scrolling, you know? And it's like, it's almost like a circus of just like, oh, I'm sad, now I'm happy, now I'm laughing, now I'm like mad, now I'm seeing this again, and I'm, you know, just like all these emotions in literally like less than 5 minutes.
Right. Constant, all day.
Yeah, all day. Yeah. If you stay on your phone that long, that is literally what you're doing, and I think that's dangerous.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's important to give yourself that space to feel these emotions, the sadness, and probably get off your phone.
Right. No, seriously.
You know?
Yeah.
And allow yourself to be sad, and allow yourself to come back up and bring yourself up with hope, because that's what I had to do. I felt hopeless, and I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. That's literally all I was thinking. And it makes you feel, it can get you to a dark place. And to a dark place where you just feel depressed. And I've had family feel like that, and it's scary and sad to watch them. So yeah, I think this year has just been like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, I would agree. But I feel like we're on, like, I don't want to say the men's, but I feel like everyone who is meant to be working together is working together, and trying to like pick everybody up, you know, like, how can we do this and be more positive, right? Look at brighter sides of things and keep moving forward and drown out the noise.
I am still really excited about you doing the workforce development thing. What ideas do you have in mind for that? Like, other than like the mock interviews and resume preparation?
Truly, we'll be looking for funding for, again, extra programs. So right now, not only in the trades, but really looking at the youth day that we do is, you know, a lily pad or a stepping stone for kids to see what they want to do. We'll probably do something more around like a workforce development day where prospective employers will come and people will bring their resumes, and we'll try to like match them up. And whether that be a staffing agency or whether that be an actual direct line employer. The other item is that we're really big on, and in discussions with other groups, talking about getting ready for the Olympics. And what kind of jobs and roles are going to be needed, available. How do we get the right candidates in front of them, and kind of working it that way. So more back end, like, you know, gathering resources, and then the other side, a phase forward would be like more of like a career fair. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Do you plan to go into schools, or like, I'm just asking because I feel like when I was in high school, there wasn't any of that like support and like resources or organizations that cared about high schoolers like me, who I wasn't ultimately planning to go to college. So I thought like, oh, maybe a trade might be good for me, but I didn't have any information or any idea of how to get involved in a trade. So like, do you have any idea for that or plans for that?
We do, actually. We're speaking to a junior college tomorrow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, about an opportunity for a again, it's a trade driven opportunity, but we are tapping into the schools, making sure that they know that we're around, and especially depending on what it is, you know, if it's a again, a plumber, a welder, a cosmetologist, a engineer, or whatever the trade might be, trying to at least get introduced to those junior colleges and giving them the resource. So tomorrow we actually do a presentation for a school that's looking for a particular type of candidate, and we're in that that trade, and just giving them high level tips on what's going on and asking them to stay in tune with us, you know? Yeah. So yeah, we are tapping into that space right now.
And then with this workforce development program, are you focusing mostly on just women, or is it like
it'll be for everyone, but we'll start with women. Like, you know, to me, it is a hard market right now.
Yeah.
The most challenging I've seen in my entire career being, you know, around and surrounded by staffing agencies or in that world. And I start with the women because we're still behind. Like, then that's, I mean, the basis of our organization is to help women anyways. We will never not help somebody else. But I do think that we will start the programs and or the invites to women. But of course, you know, everyone would be allowed. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have any other events coming up or anything you wanted to mention?
I think the biggest ones truly would be the first would be we're supporting Diosa for a Day. That's a day that's August 9th. Actually, it's coming up August 9th at East LA College or East LA Convention Center. The flyers are up. We're basically supporting in the sense that we're going to have a booth, informational booth on the Chingona community. But this group, there's two groups, American Cancer Society, and it's called the Goddess Mercado. So these two organizations are helping highlight women who are survivors of breast cancer, and they're doing a fashion show, you know, wellness day. And the beautiful thing is that we have two Chingonas that are going to be participating. So out of that group of 12 or 13, two of them actually came from our group. So that's August 9th. And then September 27th is the car show. And then the canned food drive is slated for November. Don't have a date yet for that. But those are probably the two biggest on the calendar, along with other programs and events that others ask us or ask for our support to get the word out. But those are the biggest ones right now.
Okay. Yeah. And then just to go over this in the case that there's new people listening.
Yeah.
Can you explain what the Chingona Community is?
Yes.
Like your organization.
So the Chingona Community is a 501c3 dedicated to female empowerment, leadership, and development. Our three arms, or at least our three pillars, include leadership and development. So that could be everything from a financial wellness course to a course or a program on accountability, to some of this workforce development connection that we're looking to do. The community arm would be anything that's derived to support the community. So it could be a student, it could be somebody who's hungry, it could be somebody who's homeless. So the community arm truly is any of the fundraising initiatives that we put forth to give back. And then the wellness arm is truly around our mental, our spiritual, and our body. Like, are we okay? You know, the discussions and the taboos about what mental health and what therapy can do for you versus something physical, like, you know, a dietitian or a workout event, right? To make sure that we all know what we need to serve our bodies to be a better person outward, right? So those three pillars really, truly embrace and embody what the Chingona community is. And we collaborate and work with so many other organizations to, again, you know, create impact in those spaces. So that's the Chingona community.
Yay. Do you have any other resources that you plan to kind of share with people in the future? Like, do you have any idea of any or other organizations that you're going to be working with?
Right now, nothing that we've done is really changing. If anything, it's growing.
Okay.
So, like, for instance, I'll give a great example. Our financial literacy and financial leaders, you know, that whole banking space, it's growing. So not only do we have one or two different banks that we work with or financial literacy organizations, there's like probably 4 or 5 now. So I think there's not so much any changes that will be made or additions. It's just growth.
Okay.
That there'll be different resources for different people in different walks of life, in different cities, in different points of their career. I think if anything, the growth that we're experiencing is only adding to our connection and to our level of, again, resource for the whole woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay. Okay, and so like we can close out here. where can we find you again? I know you mentioned it earlier, but where can we find you? And then feel free to shout out or share whatever you have to say.
Okay. You can reach or you can find us on Instagram and on Facebook. Again, handle Chingona Community, CHINGONACOMMUNITY, Chingona Community, or our website, www.chingonacommunity.com. And then as far as any other shout out, I think I just would remind women to pull another woman up. Right now, I'm experiencing that in my not only my career but just my life as a person, that's so empowering to help somebody else. You don't need to give them something.
Yeah.
It's to remind them and encourage them and bring them up with you. If you're up, bring somebody else up. Like, help them get up as well. You don't need to, like, cheat or cut corners. But my point is that if you're in a space that you can help another woman, I really encourage that you help another woman.
That's really good advice. And I also just want to share with you that I know I started off by saying thanks for having me back, but I really do mean that, because you were the first person to call me after I just finished like the craziest semester. And you were the first person to ask me, like, hey, I have an idea. I want to share this on your podcast. Yeah. And I had stopped podcasting for a while. And so you're saying bring another woman up. And I don't think you realize that you brought me up, because like I seriously was like, I really do want to get back to my hobby, yep. And something that I enjoy doing. Yep. And I feel like I kind of fell off of it for a while just because I've been so overwhelmed. And I'm really happy to be back here. And just like, I know this episode is not going to be like up to par with whatever my idea of like in sense of production. I forgot my tripod. I forgot all these things. And
sometimes like that doesn't matter.
Yeah. But I'm just happy like having this conversation with you. And I'm like reminding myself, like, I need to get back into like a groove, and like, the next one will be just better, And so it's just like you brought me up by even being here, and I'm happy to be here.
I'm so glad.
I miss this place. I miss this studio. So and like, glad. I'm happy to be here. So
I'm glad.
Thank you.
No, well, and thank you right back for allowing me the platform to speak. So
yeah.
No, I'm really glad, and I'm glad you took the call.
Yeah. That's a great Thank you for calling me. Yeah. And I'm glad that like we met each other, and I'm glad that like we've just been able to like keep in contact just like throughout the year, every now and then, just to hear like and catch up.
Yeah.
So it's been nice.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, I appreciate you too. And thanks for being here again. So we can close out here.
All right. Sounds good.